Yo, what's good, YouTube? Zamcro here, aka Scoot, back with the UBC last uploaded, my UBC Season 6 draft analysis. And here we are finally with Week 1, where we're taking on the Boston Braviaries, coached by Brennan. A lot of alliteration there with the B's. My opponent has an awesome squad. He has Hoopa Unbound, Sylveon, Heatran, Salamence, Donphan, Celebi, Mega Gyarados, Bronzong, Rabombi, and Gastrodon. And we have, his Z move user is Hoopa Unbound. We have Manaphy, which is Arrow's Z move user, Mega Charizard X, Skarmory, Decidueye, Togekiss, Necrozma, Scolipede, Licky, Hitmonlee, and Stunfisk. And we have decided to bring Manaphy, Charizard, Skarmory, Togekiss, Necrozma, and Scolipede. So, here's our sets. We have a Manaphy with a Timid Nature, 252 EVs in speed. That way we can speed tie with things such as Salamence and Celebi, as well as outpacing things like Hoopa, Heatran, Mega Gyarados, etc. Obviously, the other super slow things like Gastro and Bronzong, that's a given. But yeah. So we have Tail Glow with 3 attacks: Scald, Ice Beam, and Energy Ball. Scald hits everything except the Celebi and the Gastrodon and the Gyarados, in which Energy Ball and Ice Beam hit. Let me make sure that's right. Celebi and Salamence are hit by Ice Beam. Gyarados and Gastro are hit by Energy Ball, and everything else is hit by Scald. Yes, that is correct. And Scald over Surf, because the damage is pretty similar, but Scald has chances to burn things such as Celebi on the switch in, even though it has the natural cure, I'm pretty sure. And such as Sylveon too, so that if I was to get the burn, it could help me in whittling that thing down. And same for Mega Gyarados. Mega Gyarados doesn't really fear a Surf, but Scald could be problematic if I got the burn. So yeah, there's that, and I have enough special attack investment to 2-hit KO. To actually OHKO a Salamence with Ice Beam unless it's bulky. Also does a lot to Gastrodon with Energy Ball unless it's like Max Spadef. And then at +3, things like Heatran is dropping to a Surf. Donphan is obviously dropping to a Surf. Mega Gyarados, unless it's Super Spadef, is dropping to Energy Ball. Rabombi drops to Surf. Gastrodon drops to Energy Ball after a Tail Glow. I have enough HP investment to take hits from Salamence pretty well, Donphan really well, and especially well from the Mega Gyarados, as well as having enough special defense investment to take hits from Sylveon and repetitively come in on Heatran and not take that much damage, unless he toxics me or hits me up with the toxic, or has like Power Herb, Solar Beam, or something. Then Heatran's not really doing much to me. And even then, I have the Rindo Berry, which is what I was getting ready to get to next. His check to this thing would have to be something like a Celebi or like Yachi Mints with, I don't know, Dragon Tail. But then he would have to assume I'm not like a defensive subset and whatnot. But anyways, we bypassed on the Z move this week. I debated Z Rain Dance and 2 attacks, but it just wasn't enough. This perfect coverage is spot on, just spot on. So next up, we got Mega Charizard X, our boy Reddington here. By the way, Manaphy is our boy Bash. Our boy Reddington here, though. The Mega Charizard X with the Swords Dance, Dragon Claw, Fire Punch, and Earthquake. Now, I have Swords Dance over Dragon Dance because the damage output is just so much better, and it allows me to 2-hit KO things like Donphan, unless it's like super, like max defense, max HP. And then, even then, like it's a roll with my attack investment. I'm pretty sure, unless I calc wrong, unless I calc Belly Drum, but I might calc that later. It actually doesn't play a part in the battle, though. So, anyways, Swords Dance, Dragon Claw, Fire Punch, and Earthquake. Dragon Claw hits his entire team outside of Sylveon and Heatran and Bronzong, which is hit hit very hard by the fire type coverage. Stab, the Tough Claws boosted Fire Punch, and then Heat Ran resists both. And so I packed the Earthquake for that as well. Again, max speed, so I can speed tie with things like Salamence and Celebi, and outpace things like Hoopa and Tran, like I was mentioning before. The HP investment doesn't really do much. The difference, okay, the reason I have this is hard to explain. Basically, I only needed enough attack investment to have Dragon Claw knock out a Salamence after rocks. So I have 196 attack EVs, and everything else wasn't going to be O-code unless it was like Celebi or Bronzong or something, like getting O-code by Fire Punch, or like Tran getting O-code, like a uninvested Tran getting O-code by Earthquake or something like that. That's the only things that I can really hit hard without the boost. So I only needed to be able to knock out the Salamence prior to being boosted, because it's really the only threat to me outside of Donphan, which is just going to immediately make me switch out. If everything's beat down and like there is no Scarfers, and maybe Salamence isn't revealed to be like max speed, or it is max speed and we win a speed tie or something like that, after Swords Dance, Charizard can really just go in and put in the work. Just got to beat down the Donphan and make sure like Mince isn't max speed, and like I said, make sure he doesn't have anything that can outpace me. Scarfers, Rabombi could potentially outpace me if he brings it. But yeah, that's just about it. Everything else is pretty much slow outside of like Scarf, Hoopa, or an offensive Salamence, or like an offensive Celebi, but that's really not doing much damage to me. So next up we got Skarmory, our boy Dreamon here. Leftover, Sturdy, of course, Spikes, Whirlwind, Roost, and Taunt. This thing is basically just annoying to my opponent, unless he brings things like Taunt Tran or Taunt Mega Gyarados. This thing's just problematic. Lives any 2 hits from anything, so not really fearing much, unless it was like a physically offensive Heat Ran, and even then I'm only 2 hit KO'd at that point. Actually, I can't take like a banded Hoopa hit. I can't take 2. I think after rocks I'm 2 hit KO'd guaranteed. But I don't really need Skarmory to check Hoop or anything like that. This thing's basically here to check Sylveon, can taunt the Sylveon. I do have enough speed. Actually, I think I naturally outpace it, so I didn't have to put speed investment. Unless it's speed creeping me, then I should speed creep it. I take 0 damage from things like Salamence and Donphan. Mega Gyarados really doesn't even do that much, even though I'm especially defensive. Rabombi's not doing much. Gastrodon, Bronzong. It's really just a mon that can take a lot of hits. Set up Spikes, Whirlwind things out, and get a bunch of chip damage that Charizard and Manaphy really like. And yeah, that's basically it. I have another mon that can set up Stealth Rock, so this wasn't really a priority. So I could go with Spikes here. Okay, I just got blew up, called like 7 times. So that's, okay. So where were we? Skarmory. Okay, so yeah, that's the Skarmory set. And next up we got Misfortune, our Togekiss. We call it Misfortune because the Serene Grace and the Thunder Wave and the Air Slash and whatnot. 1 second. Okay, so before I was rudely interrupted by about 12 phone calls and 7 video FaceTimes or whatever the fuck. Excuse me. Anyways, Togekiss here is Misfortune, literally. Leftovers, Serene Grace, Thunderwave, Air Slash, Roost, and Defog. This thing is basically a counter to Mega Gyarados. I really wanted to run Dazzling Gleam, and looking back, I probably should have ran Dazzling Gleam over Air Slash, but because it hits, Hoopa, Mints, and the Mega Gyarados, but the Air Slash was just too good to pass up on even things like everything that I just mentioned, even Bronzong and Tran. Like, if you get Thunderwaved and you get if you're paralyzed and you get Air Slashed, and you're most definitely going to be full paired and flinched all the way down to 0 HP. So that's the reason I ran Air Slash over Dazzling Gleam. It's just much better on Togekiss. Maybe if this were Sylveon or Clefable or something, obviously I would have ran the Fairy type move on the Fairymon. So that's just about the only thing. This thing checks Hoopa, like a physically offensive Hoopa that doesn't have a Gunk Shot. It can take hits from Sylveon pretty well. It checks Mints well, unless it's got the Iron Tail. But then it has to set up anyway. Can check Donphan, Celebi, Mega Gyarados, Rabombi to an extent, and Gastrodon pretty well. Doesn't fear any of those mons. And can Thunderwave things like Mega Gyarados. Now, Mega Gyarados, as you can see, Skarmory and Togekiss, they do have things like Thunderwave, and Skarmory has all status moves. Well, sort of. Well, you know what I'm saying. No attacks. So, like, things like Mega Gyarados and Heatran having Taunt could be very problematic. But if I know he has Taunt, he's already revealed Taunt, then he might predict me to not try to use a move like this so that I could use Thunderwave anyway. That's basically the game plan, is for him to reveal Taunt already, and me know that he's already revealed Taunt and that I should be discouraged to using things like Thunderwave and Defog and Spikes, etc. So yeah, that's the plan, is to make him reveal early game Taunt. That's why I have a designated lead in Necrozma, so that he'll be inclined to lead Mega Gyarados and reveal his Taunt turn 1, and I can switch directly into my Skarmory, knowing that I can live any hit. And if I am taunted, even if I'm not taunted, I'm going to double out into my Togekiss anyway, predicting Crunch, Waterfall, etc. Or Dragon Dance even. So when I switch into my Togekiss, he's going to know that I'm not going to click Thunderwave and risk him setting up further, as he taunts me and then sets up further. So yeah, that's the game plan behind that. Yeah, and things like Heatran, Bronzong are like obvious switch in, so I can just click Thunderwave and then pivot out. So he brings the Bronzong, and then I can switch into Zard or Skarmory. Say he brings the Heatran in, I can switch into the Zard or the Manaphy or whatever. After I get off a nice Thunderwave, which would be nice and Yellow Magic. So yeah, next up we got Skarmory here. Scolipede here with the Focus Sash. First time using this bad boy, and I'm bringing a Swords Dance set. This thing can basically, like, once Manaphy and Charizard set up, or like put their work in, this thing can come in and basically get a speed boost, outpace everything on his team guaranteed, unless he's got like a Scarf for Bombi, which is unlikely, or he's like that's just about it, unless he's like Tailwind Mints or something. But yeah, other than that, and this thing puts in awesome work with its coverage. Mega Horn and Poison Jab being able to hit everything neutrally, at least, or super effectively, and then the Earthquake to hit the Heatran, which resists both. So yeah, really nice mon here. Focus Sash allows me to take any one hit from anything, and guarantees that I can get the speed boost and a Swords Dance up to try to break through his team. Either Cleanup Crew or the Breaker. It's one of the two. Most likely the Cleanup Crew. So last but not least here, we have a very bulky offensive Necrozma here with the Cobble Berry and the Prism Armor, which is really, really nice. Takes the Dark type hits from Hoopa really well. I guess crunches really well from Gyarados as well, and he doesn't have any ghost types, so no worry there. I have Stealth Rock on this bad boy. It's my designated lead, as I can click Earthquake against like lead Heatran. I can click Egg Scissor against lead Hoopa, maybe a Scarf Hoopa that wants to go for a U-turn or something like that, or yeah, predicting me to switch, go for a U-turn on a predicted Togekiss or something like that. I can just stay in and I would most likely click X Scissor if he leads Hoopa, just in case he goes for the kill. I would hate to miss out on the opportunity to go straight for the kill on the Hoopa. My offensive investment allows me to 100% knockout with the X Scissor. Also allows me to 100% knock out a Salamence unless it is Intimidate. With Psycho Cut after rocks, I can 2-hit KO it. Like I said, unless it's Intimidate or like non-Intimidate but very bulky. X Scissor Oko's the Hoopa, does a lot to the Celebi. If it's no investment, it's likely an Oko on that as well, and does half to a non-invested Gyarados, I should say. Earthquake's doing a pretty good lot to Heatran. It's gonna pick up the 2-hit KO guaranteed unless it's like a Shuka or Air Balloon, and yeah, Psycho Cut just hits everything else. For like what Psycho Cut doesn't hit, X Scissor and Earthquake hit, super effectively. So there's that, and that's going to be the team. So we're going to hop into the replay just in a sec.